Coach, you're back in Columbia. Well, for you it's the first time, but how does it feel to get the team back here again?
I just felt like it was that dream. We talked about it, went back to spring practice. At the end of spring practice, we had a map on the board and drew out a map, and we had one piece of the puzzle was missing, and that was get back to the state. And so that was our goal, our dream to get back here. We won the region, but just to get to Columbia, that's always what our goal is at Byrnes High School, and didn't make it last year, so it was really big for these kids to get back.
Did y'all use last year kind of as a point to these kids that, hey, it could happen again, you could drop one in the playoffs and just kind of use that as motivation?
I think it was there. I think the hurt and everything that we went through last year, not practicing on Thanksgiving, everything that the tradition that we had set up and worked for, last year was missing. And I think the kids, that game that week coming up prior to that, I think that they really worked hard because they wanted to get back here. They missed that a lot.
Now, for you, it's just your first year as a head coach, what has this whole season been like to get to this point for you?
I don't know. Hopefully in a week or two, maybe I can reflect and go back and sit. It's just gone so fast. It's been so exciting, and it's true that you sit back each week and you want to kind of glimpse back, but you don't have time. You got to keep going. You got to, as soon as the Northwestern game was over, I spent a little time with my family on Saturday, and then it was right back to work with Summerville. And right now I can't look at it. I can't have fun with it. I just got to keep going. Maybe next week, North-South week or something, that maybe I can look at it and reflect.
Was it tough to make the transition back to head coach?
I think it's been somewhat hard at times, just managing everything and making sure everything's correct. I know without my coaching staff, I wouldn't have been able to do it. They've done so great with everything, been patient with me and helped me in a lot of different situations, and I really thank them for helping me out. But it's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Now, let's talk just a little bit about your offense and your defense. What has your offense done well this year?
I think your offense, we've created a running game, and that's what we didn't have last year. So I think it's our offensive line and then Marcus at running back has really complemented our offense and opened it up where we can throw the football now or we can run it. And I think our receiving core, as in the past, we only had maybe one or two receivers. I think now this year, all the way across the front, you can go to any of them. You can't just cover one guy. We've got a lot of different receivers, and we've got some guys standing on the sideline can go in too. And then, of course, you got Chase. I think Chase has done an excellent job as a sophomore. I think back and I talked to him. I said, Willie was in the same position that you're in, and he's just an excellent job of guiding our offense and making the checks and doing the things we've had to do. And everybody's talked about him he's not being very fast, but he's so good with his feet. He sets up in the pocket, he moves around, and is able to get the ball also. Offensively, I think we've done a great job, and again, I think the offensive line has come so far from last year, and we've got a lot of young guys on that, and they've worked really extremely hard, and our coaches have really pushed them. And that's the key to the whole thing, giving our guys time or making holes, and I think they've done a great job too.
Your defense has in the past few years really played well, especially in the playoffs.
Well, we look back at our stats and everything, and we've given up more yardage. We've given up certain things that we haven't given up in the past, but we've made more plays. We're plus 14 in the turnover ratio, so, I can't say enough about that, because that's what we harp on every day, about playing hard, getting to the ball, and creating turnovers, making plays. We've got more tackles for loss or sacks than we had last year, so the kids have, just the way we play on defense, we might give up big plays, but then we're going to create big plays too. So, I can't say enough about our secondary, and we've had some young guys have to step up because we had some guys injured in the secondary. We had two guys, both our safeties went down during the season at critical times, and we had some young guys step in there and play really well. Our linebacker core. You know, Daniel Cleveland in the middle has done a tremendous job of just making the calls. He's my quarterback on defense and does a great job with that. And Skylar Franklin, Creighton Frost, and Kobe Connor with those guys there. Everett leads our front. You know, can't say enough about him. He's just become a tremendous leader on and off the field, and has done a great job with that. And you know, you got Brandon Willis, which is a young guy in the middle, a sophomore. Chris Whitney on the end, and then Corey Miller comes in and does a great job. So defensively, like I said, you know, we play so hard over there, and we came up with a tremendous game last week. And these guys, you know, I'm going to challenge them again this week and see if we can slow down Summerville.
Well, Coach, congratulations on getting here. Can you tell us just a little bit about your team?
Well, I'm glad to be here. We got a pretty good team, I guess. We spread the field, and we got a good quarterback who can throw the ball, and we got 4 guys that can catch pretty good, and the offensive line's gotten a little bit better. We're not playing as good a defense as I'd like to play, but they're trying hard, and it's a good group of guys and a good group to coach, and I've really enjoyed coaching them this year, and of course, I hope we have a good game Saturday.
And now, after seeing Byrnes a little bit, what do you think about what the Rebels do?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, they put 49 points on Gaffney, and when you score 49 on Gaffney, you gotta have a pretty good team. And we traded videos, and I watched them on the video and all, and I'm real impressed with them. And they can also not only throw the ball, they can run it too.
Yeah, does that worry you a little bit, them being able to do both pretty well?
Yeah, well, that'll always worry you, defensive coaches, you know, and the head coach. And of course, I don't coach a position anymore. I just kind of coach coaches, and we spent all day yesterday looking at video and trying to decide what we need to do.
Yeah. Now, does it ever get old coming down here and playing for a state championship?
Oh no, I'd like to be here every year as long as I'm coaching, and I feel good for the kids. They enjoy being here, and they're excited about it.
Talk a little bit about Reed and also AJ and just what they give you as 2 Shrine Bowl players who are very good.
Well, Reed is as good a quarterback we ever had. He's tall, he's smart, he's got a good strong arm, and he'll do well in college. AJ, he's phenomenal. I've never coached a player that as much talent as he's got on both sides of the ball. He can play defense or offense. And we play him primarily as a receiver, but he can run the football too. We got him returning punts, and I might put him on the kickoff return team too and let him get a hold of the ball.
You'll let him drive the bus if you want?
Yeah, I'll let him do about anything he wants to do.
Did you think coming into the season that y'all had the talent to make it back to Columbia?
Well, we thought we were pretty good before we opened up with the Miami team. And what had happened, we had played 4 scrimmage games, and we played them as games, you know, officials and full game and everything. And we'd beaten Conway in the first one, and with Dutch Fork and Lake City and Manning, and we thought we were better than what we were. And then we got there against the Miami team, and they were a little bit quicker than we thought. We had to make a lot of changes after that, but it was kind of a wake-up call for us.
Were you kind of glad, I guess, that it did happen that way?
Well, yeah. I don't think we'd be where we are now if it hadn't happened that way. And they realized then that we had a lot of work to do.